All right, welcome back, guys. So we're obviously in the car. Right now I'm heading to Chipotle to pick up some delicious food. Unfortunately, it's going to be cold because I'm really bad at being on time and stuff like that. So I ordered this food to be ready at like 12:45, and it's 1:15 now, and I'm not even there yet. So yeah. Anyway, the reason I'm in the car and I'm picking up Chipotle is because I've only been back in Dallas for about a day and a half since I got back from my brother's powerlifting competition. And right now I just had to pack and put all my stuff in the truck. I'm going to a course for the next like 3 or 4 days on advanced wilderness life support. So one of the things that I like to do is sort of kind of combine my passions as best that I can. So, obviously this is sort of more of a lifting channel, but this is the Strength Doc channel. And so, obviously my other passion is medicine, hence kind of giving up my 20s to the pursuit of knowledge and degrees and lots of educational debt. I wouldn't have done that if I didn't love medicine. And so one of the things that I really like to do is just be outside and enjoy nature. And so wilderness medicine sort of allows me to combine those two passions. A lot of people who have both of those interests sort of end up falling into wilderness medicine or finding out about it some way or another. So that's kind of the deal on this. I had to trade a bunch of shifts because this isn't technically what I'm getting paid to do. In fact, you have to pay to go to this course. So I had to trade a bunch of shifts, so that will mean that my schedule will be stacked coming up. So anyway, about lifting kind of stuff, normally I like to get in a lift before I go on, a little hiatus for 3 or 4 days or whatever, especially if I'll be in the car or playing for a while. But I actually didn't end up lifting today. My hip has really been bothering me kind of in my groin, sort of at the origin of the adductor. Interestingly, it doesn't bother me at all for sumo. You'll see these clips now, where sumo is going really freaking smooth. In fact, I'm going to be increasing the basically estimated 1RM that I'm basing my programming off of, because my sumo has been going so well. And typically, for like kind of groin stuff, sumo would be bothersome for that. But actually, it doesn't really bother me at all. It's only when I'm squatting that I have a pretty decent pain kind of in that groin area. So hopefully a few days of rest and a little bit of mobility work will be helpful. I really hope so, because, we've got this meet at this point. I think I've got like 45 days or something until the actual meet. So I don't have a lot of time. That means we don't really have time to be messing around. Anyway, we just got to Chipotle. I will catch up with you guys later. All right, guys, we're back in the home gym. It's Saturday. No idea what date it is. About to do some exercising. That's typically what we do in the gym. I also talk to you guys in the gym, and I also do random stuff like work on projects. More on that some other time. So the time right now is almost 7 p.m. and I have got to do some training, upper body and lower body right now. You'll probably be seeing that footage already at this point in the video. And it's definitely not ideal. There's a lot of struggles with training. Number one, you're probably like, what the is on your head? And that is called a top knot. And that is because when you have a man bun, it's really hard to bench press with your man bun in the back. You kind of need the man bun kind of on top. So that way when you're benching, your neck's not like that. The struggle's real, guys. But in all seriousness, in this case, training for 3 hours or more is definitely not ideal. I'm probably not gonna finish till after 10 o'clock. I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of warming up on my hip because it's still not 100%. It feels pretty not great. So hopefully the squat stuff goes all right. We will see in about an hour and a half. But you know, the reality is that training is not going to be perfect. There's going to be a lot of struggles, and the reality is that it's not always going to be optimal. My job is not to be a professional lifter. It is a hobby. I'm a recreational athlete. So that means that I do the best that I can, don't sweat the small stuff, and in general, I just try and get it in when I can. That's what we're going to do, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. So setting up pin press sucks. I hate it. And it's funny because I do my own programming, so why would I do this? Because it's necessary. So you might also ask, why in the world would you do bench after starting over? All right, guys, so I am running a little bit behind schedule. What else is new? Anyway, I figured now would be a good time to chat about kind of the way I decided to organize today's training session, which is a little bit unique for me since I don't normally do full body. So, you know, I've just done basically my regular competition bench, and then I followed that with pin press, which I would consider a pretty close accessory to the competition lift. Now, you know, there's a bunch of ways how I could have gone about doing this, and I'm gonna go right into squats right now. Obviously, after I warm up, I've got a lot of mobility stuff to work on, fingers crossed. But basically, the reason why I'm doing this is that way I don't want to go through a whole upper body workout, be kind of tired, and then go into my competition lift, which is the squat. Doing pendlay rows and pull-ups and, you know, band pull-aparts or whatever else I've got programmed for my upper body day, that's not going to be done in competition, so it's not as important. That can wait till the end of the workout when I'm a bit more fatigued. Now, typically, if you were to do a full body day and you're a power lifter, you'd probably program squat before you do bench because, quite frankly, that's how you're going to do it in a competition. Now, the reason why I did not do that is because I have been dealing with some pretty tragic tendonitis, and I'm just starting to work on some more mobility stuff for my shoulders and my thoracic spine, which I think are likely the source of the tendonitis that I've been dealing with in my forearms and elbows. So I didn't want to squat heavy in quotes, be beat up, have my forearms and my tendonitis flare up, and then go right into bench and not be able to bench. So I figured it'd be way easier for me to bench first and then go into squats because I'm still working on all that mobility stuff. Hopefully we will get that toyed out by competition time. So anyway, I'm gonna go do like a bunch of warming up right now to get my hip ready to go, and we will hop right into squats. I'm probably not going to film the rest of the accessory stuff because, quite frankly, it's getting a little bit late and I've got to bang this out. Go!
You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. 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 You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now.
Alright, so first off, I apologize that my voice is a bit nasally. I'm currently sick, so that's that. As you saw, the squats overall went okay. You know, I hit the prescribed sets and reps. It was definitely the first squat workout this training block that was not smooth, in the sense that the weight felt heavy. There was definitely some technical breakdown. There's definitely some things that I need to work on going forward, some cues that I need to be more aware of internally. But overall, you know, I was really freaking out about that hip, and it didn't really cause me much issue. Typically when you have an injury or a little nagging thing, it happens all the time where you get something in the gym and you're like, you tweaked something, whatever. Usually, for me at least, those only bother me while I'm training. My life outside of the gym is not affected by them. But this particular injury with my hip, I would notice pretty severe pains doing day-to-day activities. Putting my pants on, putting my shoes on, getting in and out of the car. Like, that was kind of freaking me out internally. I'm not gonna lie, when I was at this wilderness class for those whole like 3-4 days, the whole time, like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, oh man, am I gonna have to like drop out of this meet? Like, do I have something serious? Do I need to get like an MRI? And part of that, honestly, is because I'm a doctor and I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac as a result of that. Mostly because, you know, as an emergency doctor, I see people come in with like all the worst things. And in my training, my goal is to make sure there's not a really bad thing going on. So emergency doctors are typically sort of more pessimists in the sense of like, you know, make sure that what's the worst case scenario? That's always the way that you're trained to think. So, you know, that wasn't an issue. Actually, you know, when I was squatting, the bigger issue was I was having a lot of trouble breathing. So I was truly having shortness of breath in the sense that I really couldn't get a big breath of air. And that was really affecting my ability to brace as well as my recovery. Like normally, for that percentage range, my rest interval would be somewhere between like 3.5 to 5 minutes. And honestly, I was needing like almost double that because I just really could not catch my breath at all. I felt kind of like a sharp pain in my side and in my like back part of my ribs. I think that may have been because I benched first and everything was kind of tight beforehand. Hopefully that was the first time I've ever experienced that, and it was a little bit scary. Definitely not what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting my hip to be bothering me, and of course it's something else, you know, but that's kind of part of the game. And you know, in the iron sports, there's always going to be injuries and things like that. And you know, sometimes you need to kind of just roll with the punches and do the best you can, and sometimes you need to get things addressed. So there will be a lot more about this sort of thing in the next video. I highly encourage you guys to take a look for that sometime next week, probably at the end of next week. But anyway, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, this is something a little bit different. If you guys want to support the channel, I would really appreciate just hitting that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe. That's all I got for you guys. I'll catch you guys next week.